Hey guys, this is Cory, owner of Alpha Strat. Yesterday we had a live, and for some reason, um, when I saved it, the something got messed up, and obviously the voice recording um, didn't make it. But I got to thinking, I was like, we were going over this trade right here, and one of our members, Chris, he had asked, well, what would have been a good setup to day trade here? And I kind of went over my strategy that I look for every single day. If I don't see that strategy, I usually don't take a trade. But anyways, I went over that trade, and I was like, this is the first time I've ever went into depth on what I do every single day. I've kind of told people what I do. I've kind of just showed a couple examples, but since that recording didn't work, I was like, I've got to go ahead and make another video. So let's get to it. I don't want to waste a bunch of people's time. But so I'm going to show you on this side what I would have done, and I'm going to show you on what this side of what I would have done. So let's go back to yesterday. Go down to the 1 minute time frame. Okay. So a lot of times what I will do is, one of the things that I look for every single morning is I wait for the first 15 minutes for this 15-minute orb to create. And then from after it creates, I look for the next 15 minutes from 8:45 to 9 a.m. Central Time. So the orb creates the first 15 minutes, and then from 8:45 to 9 a.m., I look for a rejection up or a rejection down. As you can see right here, in this area right here, in the last 15 minutes, it rejected above this 15-minute orb. So every single morning when I am watching SPY, or SPY doesn't follow my rules, I'll go to something else. But a lot of times what I will do is this will come up, and I will start here, and I'll work right here. And the thing is well, this one's higher than that one. Okay, so but from the entirety of this zone to this zone, I will look for rejections here. So if it gets rejected a little bit higher here, I'll move it up. I'll adjust it until this gray phase gets done. And then, so pretty much what I'm looking for is it to reject, to come down, come back up here, hit around like right here, maybe come down to here, and then for a body closed above this, and that would be my entry. So yesterday, whenever I went over with him, I went, it was kind of a slow-mo. I'm going to speed up just a little bit, see if I can. So yes, this is the 1 minute time frame, so there's going to be a little bit more noise. But here's the thing. We're looking for the rejection out of this box right here. Right there. Like that. And even though it's come down, that's kind of what I'm wanting. I'm wanting it to come down and then come back up and then retest this area. And you'll see here in a minute, that's exactly what it does. You see it's consolidating a little bit. Should pop up. Okay. So one thing I want to make clear is, so this right here, when I very first started trying to learn this strategy, I would buy when the price was here, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to go higher. But this was, obviously a while back, and I realized sometimes I'd buy, and sometimes I get lucky, but if the candle didn't close out of this zone, sometimes it would just suck back in, and it would just, because now if this goes up, goes back in, it's just another one of these. Same with this one. So, we got up here, we got 2 rejections, but we're not adjusting zone because we're only keeping track of this 15 minutes here. We're looking for this only. And as you can see, it respects it. So, I don't know the science, or I don't know anything about it. I just know it's something that I've noticed, and it's something I've traded. I've made thousands of dollars trading it like this. Let's see. All right. So I would have entered my trade on candle close right there. My stop loss would have been right there. So, a lot of times, whenever it makes a move like this, it's very short term. So what I'll do is I'll buy this candle, and I size up just enough to where I can meet my entry in 1 to 3 candles. So if I buy here and it shoots way up right here, I'm probably going to take profit at candle close, or where it gets close, or before it starts coming back down. But obviously it'll go. This candle came up, and I totally would have. Let's see here. So came down right here and came out and bounced off this right here and blasted back up. So I usually have a 1 to 3 candle strategy, which is 1 to 3 minutes. I'm out. If I don't make any money in those first 3 candles, it's a really good chance it's not going to move in my favor. If it starts consolidating, we're not looking to do that either. We're looking to catch moves. We're looking to catch moves and then get out. We're not trying to look cool, take screenshots. I bought here 1, 2, 3, and you might could see with this next 1 to 5 candles, I'm out. I'm not looking to ride it to here or to all-time highs. Obviously, another thing, as I told them, is this white is the 21 moving average, which is a very important moving average that price respects. Anytime it gets too far away, it's always eventually going to come retract back to it like a magnet. So as you can see, usually if I start seeing consolidation like this, if I'm feeling like I want to try to take it a little farther than 1 to 3 candles or 1 to 5, which is very rare, if it starts doing this right here, and it's really far away from this, 100% take profit. I mean, it'd be different if this was right here, but it's really extended, and it's most likely going to retract back to this zone right here. So that's that strategy. It's very simple. I don't know how the heck I found it one day. I know that I was using, the orb, and it's just something that I found, and something I've worked. So, I know this is going to create the first 15 minutes, and I'm looking for a couple of rejections. I don't care if it comes down like this, and then the market starts right there. I'm going to draw my zone like this, and if a candle closes right here, I'm going to buy in 1 to 3 candles. I'm going to get out. And if for some reason if for some reason it bounces back in or it bounces back up, I'm going to try to see how far it is away from this. But anyways, I wanted to, so that was yesterday, and I was trying to explain to everybody that if a stock skyrockets in that 15-minute window right there, what I usually aren't. I'm usually not interested if it does this, because for one, it's really far out, and if I'm using this as a stop loss, that's a huge loss right there. All it would take, because price respects this orb. It's crazy. I don't know the reason behind it, but it just does. But let's say you wanted to trade this strategy, then what you could do is just draw this right here. Okay, so you got a rejection point right here. Okay. And as you can see, it came up, and after that patience mode turned off, it bounced up, came down, bounced up, came down. What I'm looking for is confirmation before it gets there. So, obviously we got this confirmation, we got this confirmation, and then this right here is where we would buy, or I would buy, if I decided to go this route. And if I were to buy that, I'm probably not going to make this my stop loss right here. It's probably going to be moved to maybe possibly right there, or I might just cut it in half and make that my stop loss. Or if it does this at any point in time, get out, because look. But that's one thing you can do right here, is if there is one right here, that doesn't mean you don't have to trade it. That's just something I've always looked for. I would have, before this even happened, I would have made a zone right there until it blasted off. But now you can see it's got a zone right here. And look at this. Look how crazy this is. So you see this? I drew that zone. I haven't even looked at the chart today. This is the first time I looked at it. Look at that. Totally respects this area. And look at this. Comes right back to it. I don't know what it is about that 15-minute window right there. It's just after it creates the orb, for some reason, I think I found it by accident one day. But this 15-minute window right here has always been super important in my trading strategy, and it's something I've found, and I've never seen anybody technically use this strategy. And I'm not saying it's the best one, but it's something that's always worked for me. But anyways, guys, I wanted to kind of go over, in a kind of a greater detail of that. I didn't get to trade today. I was kind of out. So hope everybody had a good day, and I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow.